of internet freedom? Is it free? Are you concerned about freedom of internet? What exactly does internet freedom mean? And is it freedom for the entire world or freedom for Americans? And in shaping your policies regarding internet freedom, do you consider the opinions of other nations, and seeing that the internet is now a global property? I would say should internet regulation be a United Nations issue and not necessarily a US issue? I mean, the SOPA could have blocked out the entire world. I probably said a bit too much, but yes.
Where are you from?
From Jamaica.
Okay. I thought so, but I didn't want to know. We could have a long conversation about the questions that you raised. Let me start with the definitional questions that you asked. I mean, I think for us, certainly from my standpoint, and I think from the Secretary's most recent speeches on the topic, internet freedom is a human rights issue, and it's not about internet freedom for Americans. It's about internet freedom for everyone. Now, it needs to be kind of broken down. What are you talking about when you talk about internet freedom? I think we're talking about the freedom to express yourself, to assemble and associate, and oftentimes people focus only on freedom of expression, but it's more than freedom of expression, it's also association and assembly online. And so protecting the same human rights that we have encoded in international law and that are universal obligations to protect offline, making sure that those protections are afforded to people online. I think that the way that that plays out is both technical and political. So there's a interest which overlaps with an economic interest in the internet remaining a single, global, interconnected, interoperable network. That's a matter of both that's technical and political. But I mean, you know, making sure that the network that people, when you type in one thing, one place, in terms of a web address, it's the same. What you get back is the same thing as when you type that thing in somewhere else, etc. That's critically important. And so there are a number of technical governance kind of questions that are part of maintaining an open, interconnected platform. And then there are some more political governance in terms of the ways that certain governments try to control content on the internet, or the ways that people get punished for either the activities they take associating, forming NGOs, working, communicating with each other, etc., or the things they publish online. And so those things have a bearing on how free the internet is as a space in which people can exercise their human rights. And so that's the frame with which we approach it. And I think that in terms of how who should be part of this conversation, the origins of the internet thus far and the way that problems have been resolved has not been by governments alone. It's been through a multi-stakeholder process. It's actually very, perhaps one of the best examples of something from the outset having a clear role for civil society and academia. Obviously, academia's needs to collaborate, etc., is one of the sources of why the internet was the practical reason for the internet in the first place. But civil society, academia, industry, and governments have all been involved in a variety of conversations in terms of managing the internet, managing challenges that have arisen thus far. And our position is that norm of multi-stakeholder governance is what should remain. The prospect of an intergovernmental management of the internet is not one that, over the long, at least for now, it doesn't look like that's one that would lead to a more open and interconnected internet. It actually has some real threats, and there have been countries, Russia and China and two other countries, put forward a paper last September that suggested a code of conduct for the internet that would have been all about controlling content online, not about preserving a free and open platform. And I think that that's not good for any of us.